Okay, folks, buckle up, because today we are diving deep into a claim that has the entire tech world, and honestly the whole world, in a frenzy.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Has OpenAI actually achieved artificial general intelligence? Or AGI, as they like to call it.
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
We're dissecting a snippet from Pasted Text where Vahid Kazemi, a PhD and a member of OpenAI's technical staff, makes quite a bold statement.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
He doesn't flat out say OpenAI has birthed some superintelligence that outshines us humans in every way.
Right.
Instead, he says their AI is better than most humans at most tasks. Now, that subtle difference, that most, is doing a lot of heavy lifting, and that's what we're here to unpack today.
Yeah, it's a really interesting distinction because it forces us to think about how we even define intelligence in the first place, you know?
Like, before we even figure out if they're right, we got to figure out what game we're even playing.
Exactly.
So let's start with the basics for our listeners just tuning in. What exactly is AGI, and how is it different from the AI we're already bumping into every day? Like, you know, when Netflix recommends a show that's eerily spot on.
Well, you're already highlighting a key point there, right? We already have AI that's exceeding human capabilities in very specific domains.
Right, like beating chess grandmasters.
Exactly. Chess, or even, crunching these insane data sets, or even I've seen some impressive code generation from these AI.
Yeah.
But AGI is a whole other ballgame. It's not about excelling in a single area. It's about this ability to learn and adapt and perform across a huge range of tasks, like at a human level, or even better.
So it's less about being a specialist and more like being a jack of all trades, but like a really, really good one.
Yeah, precisely. It's about flexibility learning, being able to transfer knowledge from one domain to another. That's the real hallmark of AGI.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've set the stage. The goalpost is clear.
Yeah.
Now let's circle back to Kazemi's statement. This AI being better than most humans at most tasks. What's your gut reaction to that when you first heard that?
Well, first thought is it's bold, very bold. But also, it's pretty vague. And that vagueness is both fascinating and a little bit slippery, Because when we think about it, we already see AI doing things, like I meant playing Go, translating languages, even generating creative text formats. But is that really representative of most tasks?
Yeah, right. It makes you wonder what they're including in that most tasks.
Exactly. What about tasks that require emotional intelligence or creativity or navigating complex ethical dilemmas? Those are things that we typically associate with human intelligence.
That's what I find a little bit unsettling about this whole thing.
Yeah.
If we even entertain this idea for a second,
yeah,
it suggests a future where like every corner of our lives could be disrupted by AI. We could have AI therapists, AI architects, heck, even AI comedians.
It's definitely a possibility, right?
So is it time to hit the panic button? Are we all about to be out of a job?
Well, I think it's healthy to think about the potential impact, for sure.
Yeah.
But before we all spiral into an existential crisis, we have to remember that what Kazemi said is a claim. It's not like a peer-reviewed scientific finding. OpenAI needs to back this up with some serious evidence if they want the world to take them seriously.
Okay, so this is where I get a little bit skeptical.
Yeah.
What kind of evidence would actually convince you? Like, what should we be looking for as, infirm citizens trying to sift through the hype?
Great question. I think there are a few key things to keep in mind.
Yeah.
First, we need specifics. What exactly are these most tasks this AI is supposedly mastering?
Yeah.
And how did they measure its performance? Were these tasks carefully selected to showcase the AI's strengths? Or do they represent a genuinely broad and diverse sample of tasks?
It's got to be like a representative sample.
Exactly.
Not just cherry picking,
And secondly, there needs to be transparency. OpenAI should be willing to open up the kimono a little bit. Let independent experts scrutinize their code.
Right.
Look at the training data and really understand the limitations of this AI.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to make bold claims, but the real test is whether those claims can withstand scrutiny from the wider scientific community.
Totally. And finally, we need to think about the context. Is this AI actually displaying genuine general intelligence?
Yeah.
Or is it just mimicking patterns in the data without truly understanding what it's doing?
Right, like a really sophisticated parrot.
Exactly. Like, it's one thing to be able to generate text that sounds like Shakespeare, but it's another thing to actually understand the nuances of language and the human condition that Shakespeare was writing about.
Those are the really deep questions that we have to grapple with.
It really does feel like we're at this turning point in history. Like, on one hand, the potential of AGI is mind-blowing.
Oh, absolutely.
It could revolutionize so many aspects of our lives. But on the other hand,
yeah,
we have to be cautious. we need to approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely, I agree.
It really makes you think, what does it even mean to be human in a world where machines might be able to outperform us in so many ways?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And, even if OpenAI's claim is true, it doesn't suddenly make humans irrelevant. It just forces us to reevaluate our own strengths. Maybe our unique abilities lie in areas like empathy, critical thinking, ethical reasoning.
Yeah, those things that are hard to quantify.
Exactly. And those qualities might become even more valuable in a world where we have these incredibly powerful AI tools at our disposal.
It's almost like we're entering this new era of collaboration between humans and AI.
That's a great way to put it.
Where we each bring our own unique strengths to the table.
Yeah, and we figure out how to work together to create something truly amazing.
Well said, well said. I think that's a great place to leave it for today. Food for thought for our listeners as we venture further into this uncharted territory of AGI.
It's definitely a journey worth taking.
Thanks for joining me today. It's been a fascinating conversation.
It has been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay curious.